Hi everyone, I'm Reading with Jack, and today I'm here with the second video in the Mockingjay Part 2 countdown, and I'm going to be talking about my favourite quotes from the Hunger Games. I'm going to be incorporating all the books and all the films, just talking about some of my favourite quotes that I really like, ones that have great significance, great meaning, ones that can be applied to loads of different situations in life as well. So hopefully this will be interesting for you lot, and obviously leave any of your favourite quotes down below in the comments as well, because I would really like to hear what you have to say. So the first quote that I have is from the first book, The Hunger Games, and this is said by Peter Millark. It's also in the film as well, exactly the same phrasing. I keep wishing I could think of a way to show the Capitol they don't own me, that I'm more than just a piece in their games. I think this is really Peter's stance to show that he doesn't want to be changed by the Hunger Games. He really wants to remain true to himself. He wants to remain compassionate and kind. He doesn't want to turn into a ruthless killing machine during the games. I really like the fact that he stands up for himself at this point, that he's talking to Katniss as well and sharing his ideas with her. From the very start of the Hunger Games, in the very first book, there's this idea about fighting against the Hunger Games, against the Capitol's plans to create them. Obviously this extends a lot more in Mockingjay with the revolution and everything, but there's always hints of an idea towards a resolution from the very first book and the film as well, of course. The second quote is again from the first book. It's said by President Snow, and it is, "Hope is the only thing stronger than fear." This is one of my favourite quotes ever because I think it is completely true. I think there are so many things to fear in life. There are so many horrible things going on in the world, but if we remain hopeful and optimistic, we can see the future in a better way, and we can look into the future how we can change it and improve. If we hope for better things, those better things will come. Whereas fear would only lead to destruction, it wouldn't help anyone, and I think this really does show that we have to be optimistic in life. There's no point being pessimistic, because fearing something leads to negativity, whereas being optimistic leads to positivity, and I think it's really important to be positive about life. The next one is again from the first book, and it's actually said by Katniss's dad, and obviously Katniss's dad isn't really featured that much, but I think this is a really important quotation about identity. As long as you can find yourself, you'll never starve. The idea of starving obviously could relate to the Hunger Games themselves. A lot of people starve in the Hunger Games and they actually die from starvation, but I think we need to consider this on more of a figurative level. The idea that if you find yourself and who you are, if you find your identity and who you want to be and remain true to that, you will be able to succeed. You won't deprive yourself or starve yourself of an identity, of a personality, and I think Katniss really does remain with this idea throughout. She wants to remain strong, she wants to remain determined to put an end to these games, to really fight for herself, and I think she does have a very clear identity, and it remains throughout the entire series. I think this is one of the quotes at the very beginning of the book that really sets this up. The next quote is from Catching Fire, which is probably my favourite film, but I think the first book is my favourite, so that's just how it is. At some point you have to stop running and turn around and face whoever wants you dead. The hard thing is finding the courage to do it. Obviously this is very literal with the Hunger Games themselves. Katniss is in the Quarter Quell at this point, and she has to fight people to the death in order to win. And it's obviously very brutal, it's very cruel, it's not something that she really wants to do. She isn't a killing machine, and it's not in her instinct to kill other humans. Therefore she needs a lot of courage and a lot of bravery to do that. But she has to remember her family and what she's standing for. If she wins the games, what she will get. And I think she remains determined to fight for herself on quite an independent level. It's also the idea that enemies exist within the world, and everyone will have people that they might not like, or they might not agree with people's ideas, and rather than sitting back and relaxing, we have to really face these people and almost challenge things that we don't agree with. We have to challenge stuff that we don't think is right morally or ethically. The final quote is from Mockingjay Part 1, and I'm not actually sure if it's in the book, but from the film this was one of the quotes that really stood out to me. I absolutely love the imagery, it's beautiful, and I remember as soon as I heard this quote being said in the film, I was just like, this is amazing. I love the way this has been put. I think it is perfect. It's said by President Snow, and it is, "Each district supplies the capital like blood to a heart. In return, the capital provides order and security. To refuse work is to put the entire system in danger. The capital is the beating heart of Panem. Nothing can survive without a heart." So everyone, that is it for today's video about my favourite quotes in the Hunger Games. As I said at the beginning, let me know what your favourite quotes are in the comments below, and I will see you all again in my next video, which is going to be more about some of the themes in the Hunger Games.